Let us talk about victim shaming today. In today's video, I saw Eddie Mottwey's video when he was speaking in court, when he was giving an account of what he is going through, visibly shaking. I could not put myself together in completing that video. It was so terrifying. This is why I've not yet posted a video in a while. And in a while, I mean 2 days, because I put myself to task to at least release 2 videos every week. At least 2 videos every week. Maybe I have shared a few shots on YouTube and TikTok. And if you're not yet following me, please. I appreciate everyone that has liked my videos. I'm seeing the views are increasing. I'm seeing that I'm getting more subscribers. I don't think I spend as much time as possible asking you guys to subscribe, but it really does help me out, which is why I'm grateful for everyone that is taking time to watch my videos. I'm really grateful. I do not take that for granted. I'm seeing the subscribers are increasing, and I'm almost making 100. Who would have ever thought? This is one of the hardest things. So I don't take that for granted. Hopefully before the end of the month, I will be having 100 subscribers, and who knows? The rate at which I get subscribers might as well also increase, and who knows, we will get to that point of 1,000 subscribers. Those of you who are commenting, I am seeing you. I am responding to those comments. Like I said, I do not take this for granted. There is just so much online that you can be watching, but here you are taking time to hear from me. So today I'm a bit down because I kind of like got a reality check when it comes to making these kinds of videos. You never know how it is going to become mentally draining or traumatizing. And this is not the first time I have witnessed victims of torture in my country. But there is something about Eddie Mottwey's video that really sucked every bit of my energy out of my body. I was already grappling with the fact that the inevitable was obviously going to happen. The amendment bill of the UPDF was obviously going to be passed because the NRM members of parliament, when it comes to where their loyalty lies, it is terrifying. Men dressed in suits, passing a law, a draconian law that is going to torment even some of their voters. It is going to become a weapon even against the constituencies that elevated them to that parliamentary seat, which is why they find themselves in that position as legislators. When you have members of parliament that are not even aware of the detrimental effect of torture, legal detention of people with dissenting views, and they are willing to weaponize themselves just so they can sustain the loyalty they have towards one man. A man that has elevated himself above the country, Uganda. A man that is doing everything to make us forget the stripes of our national flag. By this, I mean, with this amendment of the UPDF Bill, it gives permission to the court-martial, the general court-martial, to try civilians. It has been happening, but it's been illegal for so many years, mostly targeting members of the opposition, and most recently, of course, these members of the National Unity Platform. If there is anybody that has been so exemplary in victim shaming and making sure that they make a mockery out of every victim that has evidently been presented or paraded by across the media, social media, there is evidence that these individuals of the opposition, supporters of the National Unity Platform, have been tortured, have spent time in detention. Some have disappeared without a trace, like John Bosco Kiwalama. And yet we have legislators who are parents themselves are supposed to be exemplary. And in exchange of money, because they need this money so desperately to campaign for the next general elections, just so that they can safeguard their positions in the parliament of Uganda, is not only the worst example Ugandans can ever have, but it also goes without saying that it sustains a culture that will eventually become the legacy of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a culture of deception. I prefer saying Musevenism culture. That is why I could not bring myself to watch Eddie Mottwey's video. So many people, of course, have reacted, and of course now his son taking center stage in making sure that anyone that is not falling in line when it comes to supporting the status quo is a criminal and therefore will be subjected to the court-martial. I have seen people, influencers. There is this lady, I couldn't even complete that video, but she was trying to justify Eddie Mottwey's detention by making a mockery out of the scenes that have become viral on the internet. This video in which Eddie Mottwey is pleading to see a doctor, only for him to be sent to the Supreme Court. His case has been sent to the High Court. I'm going to double check that. But the thing is, this woman, full figure, just like so many regime apologists, is there stating that, oh yeah, Eddie Mottwey has always had half a finger on one of his hands. And it's not because his finger was cut off inside these torture chambers. I could see him pretending to shake. I was thinking to myself, this culture is going to be a lot more detrimental to Ugandans than anything we have ever witnessed. Because most apologists, they lack honesty in terms of saying it how it is. Yesterday, I had a conversation with someone I highly respected, and I still do respect to a certain degree. But there is this rhetoric, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu being a fraud, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu being unfit for the position that he's in. But a lot of this does not make sense, nevertheless. Because let's say you are right that this man is pretentious and he is not supposed to be in the position he is in because he is behind the scenes working with Museveni. How much of what we are witnessing makes sense in the general public? At one point, you're saying that he is not who he says he is, yet he speaks on issues that are supposed to be addressed. And you, who is genuine at heart, would rather align with someone who is creating these issues that Mr. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, aka Bobi Wine, is speaking on. You would rather align with the person that is creating these issues, including that particular one that you're stating that because of this Museveni's deception, it is the reason as to why we should not trust Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. What do we have left if we are to believe, of course, that this is the... Should we just say, okay, since Bobi Wine is working with Museveni, we should also stop talking about what is going on in this country? Is that what you really want us to do? I was highly disappointed in that conversation that we had, and I could not bring myself around the fact that there are so many people that I respect, even in my family, that still harbor these views, that all align with the same thought process of victim shaming. We run away from the fact that Museveni and his band of criminals are currently making it impossible for Uganda to progress as a democracy. Every step towards election has given us almost 20 steps backwards. What country finds it fit to decide that civilians should be tried in military court? What democracy reverts back into those draconian laws that empower the autocracy, that only rewards those that show loyalty to him in spite of the evil that is manifesting on the streets of that country. I don't know how this makes sense. Today I just came out to rant. I don't even know what else I can speak about, because believe it or not, the legacy of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is going to be a lot more detrimental to Ugandans than his time he has been in office, unless we find a place that we can experience healing and reconciliation. Because the divisions that deception wields on the people of any society, of any country, only means one thing, that the wounds become deeper and deeper. Leaders using deception to control people can have severe consequences. It erodes trust, fosters a culture of fear and mistrust, and can lead to social unrest. When people feel manipulated, they are less likely to engage with or support the leadership. And this can ultimately undermine the stability and progress of society. Deception can also create divisions and polarize communities, making it harder to find common ground or work towards shared goals. The long-term effects can be quite damaging. That is precisely what happens when a leader resorts to deception as a way of keeping himself in power, just like Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I just really needed to pour my heart out in this video. And I guess I can see you in the next one. But for now, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And spare a thought for all those political prisoners and the people that are about to be subjected to this new draconian law that has been passed in Parliament of Uganda. The UPDF Amendment Bill has been passed. Now it is just waiting for the signature of the self-imposed supreme leader of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And who knows, there are surely darker days to come. But we must hope that amidst this awakening, that we are aware of the prevailing deception that continuously makes it impossible to trust even those that are sacrificing their lives just so we can have a better country. This is the Uganda awakening. And remember to think about this. Never in any way you should consider yourself a grandchild of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. We are Ugandans first. We are not anyone's grandchildren. And we don't owe Museveni anything. Please remind yourself that every single day of your life. Maybe, just maybe, you completely wake up and understand that we cannot prioritize anybody above the affairs of our country, Uganda. And hopefully one day we will bring it back to the people. Cheers.